All right, hitting the ground running today. I was just chatting with my mom. We were discussing abortion a little bit, and I think I've landed on that I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice for all of the different things. It's your body, it's your choice. You should be able to decide what happens to it. And here's what I mean by that. You have the choice to have sex or not. You have choice to have sex in a way that's going to result in a baby. If you don't know what that is, you need to pick up a biology book or search it online. I'm pretty sure you'll find something. You have a choice of what to do once you get pregnant. You have a choice of who to give it up for adoption to, or you can keep it. So your life is not over. You can choose how to handle it. There's so many different choices. Murdering somebody is not a choice. You don't get to choose to murder somebody. That's illegal. And the baby that's living inside of you is a person, and sucking that person out of your body is murder. So that's not a choice. Everyone who has not committed murder in a sense that would get you incarcerated is definitely pro-life. So I think everybody is pro-life, and I think everybody is also pro-choice. I think you deciding that you decided to take a very specific set of actions in order to put yourself in a predicament where you can legally murder somebody right now still doesn't make you morally right about it. But there's so many things, like we're not having like a discussion in the convents about whether or not those women have the ability to have an abortion or not, because they're not having sex, so they're not getting pregnant. You can do that too. You can choose to not get pregnant. You can choose to not have sex. You can choose to make him wear a condom. You can choose to be on birth control. You can choose to get your tubes tied. You can choose 1,001 things. Like if you start putting all of the different things together, like not allowing him to finish inside of you, not engaging in sexual intercourse, using some kind of birth control. Like what kind of birth control options are out there? Like just in general, there's like the things that women can wear, the things that men can wear, and the drugs that women can take. And then what? Like surgeries, right? Like women could get her tubes tied or hysterectomy or whatever. A guy could get a vasectomy. So like these are all options before we even get started, before we even go to the bedroom, or in your case, probably a dirty, nasty dumpster alley behind whatever club that you were just deciding to get your ecstasy-filled club days going. You have a whole bunch of options before you even get there. And then once you get there, there's all kinds of fun things that you can do that don't result in having a baby. So if you decide that even in your loving and happy monogamous marriage, if you've decided that now is not the right time for you and your partner, you and your husband, you and your wife to have a baby, there's other really fun things that you can do that don't result in a baby. And once you've decided to ignore all of the pre-planning options that you could possibly do in order to avoid having that situation, you've got so many post-pregnancy options that are not murdering a baby. Hell, you could go into the black market and sell your kid if you wanted to a nice, loving family in Bangladesh or whatever. I'm not advocating that. I'm saying that there is options other than baby murder. If you feel like in America, speaking directly to America, because I don't know about any other place, any other situation as far as this specifically, but I know in this country that there is a wait list for adoptions. And I know that the people that will adopt your baby will pay for everything. Now, I believe that they are not legally allowed to pay for the child. That's like purchasing people, and that's illegal. I believe. You can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But they will pay for your prenatal vitamins, your doctor checkups, your ultrasounds, your everything. They will pay for you to get massages and back rubs and whatever prescriptions that you need. They will pay for your hospital stays, the C-section, the post-tummy tuck, whatever. And then the day that kid hits planet side, they will whisk him away and you will never worry about it. So what I'm getting at, or what I'm wondering is that, so in your mind, keeping in mind that most women, because only women can get pregnant, most women don't even know that they are pregnant for the first couple of months. Maybe they miss a period. Maybe things feel a little funny. Maybe they're sick in the morning. But there are plenty of women that get through their first trimester and don't even know that they're pregnant. There's plenty of women that don't. But there's plenty of women who get through their first trimester and don't even know that they're pregnant. So we're talking at most, if you knew that you were pregnant on day 1, 9 months of discomfort. And at worst, 6 months of discomfort. So that you don't have to murder a baby. That feels like a normal, that feels like just if somebody came to your door, knocked on your door holding a baby, and was like, I need you to be really uncomfortable and have bad morning sickness, throw up in the morning, have food smell and taste weird, and be really uncomfortable for like 6 months. And that's all you have to do. And then the baby that I'm holding in my arms right here, this baby that I'm holding, I won't kill it. Are there any of you out there who are going to be like, I got like a soccer tournament coming up. I really like to play paintball, or like, I just don't think I'm going to be able to get my mani-pedi. Just go ahead and kill that baby. What? For 6 months of discomfort? That's it. 6 months of no financial burden on you. You've already found adoptive parents that are going to take that baby. As soon as the baby's born, gone. So what's the problem? What are we talking about here? We're talking about 6, 9, a year of discomfort. Well, my body will never be the same. Guys don't care. Guys don't care. And if you're with the kind of guys that are like, ugh, she's had a baby, I'm not touching that, it's the wrong guy anyway. So what are we talking about here? Even, let's pretend that you're right. Let's pretend that it's not a child or a baby or whatever. I don't even know what you tell yourself is inside of you if it's not a baby. Is it an alien? Is it a tree? Is it an acorn? I got to find the clip of that lady that goes around to different universities and she just asks people. They're like, it's not a baby. It's not a human. She's like, great. Then what is it? Educate me. What is floating around inside of you if it's not a person? But anyway, let's pretend that that's not the case. All you're doing is you're having an opportunity to be uncomfortable for a small amount of time, a relatively small amount of time. It takes you 4 years to get a college degree. It takes you 8 if you want to be a doctor. It's like 1 year of college, right? Because you still get the summers off. 1 year of college to preserve a human life. I mean, there's people fighting in wars that are using themselves as human shields to protect people that they don't even know. But this is your child. This is your child. This is your genetic code, your DNA. And I assume that whoever you decided to let have raw, unprotected sex with you, you at least know their name. It's their child too. So you've got 2 people that you should care about, yourself and whoever you decided to have sex with, created something together, and you have to be uncomfortable for a maximum of 9 months in order to preserve that life and move it on. And you're going to make whoever else that's getting your kids super happy about that too. And that's too much. I mean, when I hear it's my body, it's my choice, you sound like a petulant child. You sound like somebody who's like, well, I wanted to clean my room, but now that you told me to clean my room, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, well, no wonder you're not ready for a kid. You're a kid. You're a baby. You're a big fat baby if you've decided that after the decisions that you made, after the choice that you made, you decided to not make him wear a condom, not do something for yourself. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember the name of the thing that the girls can have. Not be on birth control, which the birth control options are insane. There's like the ring, the pill, the little T-shaped thing. There's so many different. And then after you decided to not do all those things, then you decided to have a very specific kind of sexual intercourse in order to produce the baby. And then after all of that, you've decided that it's way too inconvenient for you to tough out the decisions that you've already made in order to not murder somebody. Yeah, you're a narcissistic creep. You're a psychopath. Most serial killers at least have some kind of code of ethics or conduct or something like that, even if it's warped or psychotic. But like you're a baby killer. You're an indiscriminate baby killer. And maybe you get to do it one time, and after you've done it once, and the horrible, horrible way that you feel about it afterwards allows you to not have a second one, and you have to grapple with that guilt for the rest of your life, maybe then you get some kind of pass on that, at least from a helping you sleep at night kind of situation. But if you've had 2, you've had 3, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. You know exactly what you're getting yourself into with how it's made. Now, I know anybody who watches this, which my last video has 0 views, so I'm not counting on it, but I'm hoping that somebody goes down into the comments and wants to bring up the thing that nobody wants to talk, or that you guys don't actually believe about. Anybody who's the legit pro-choice, I think you should be able to kill babies. What's the 2 arguments, right? One is that it's not a human. It absolutely is, because if it's not a human, then what else would it be? Then you can make all kinds of different arguments about why it's not a human. All of them are easily debunked, because all of those you can draw lines to other things that would have logical fallacies. It doesn't have consciousness. Well, neither do people in comas, and we can't kill them. It doesn't have a sense of self, or conscious, whatever that is, sense of self. Yes, well, most people don't have that until at least the age of 2 or 3, and you can't kill babies up to the age of 6, 8, 9 months. So that doesn't work. So there's all those. You can go through all those if you want to, and we can go through, and I'll debunk them in the comments. If I get a whole bunch of comments, I'll do it on my next video, and I'll just systematically debunk all you guys' bullshit. Or the other argument is that it's my body and it's my choice, but that's not your body. It's not your body, so it's not your choice. You already made your decision. The analogy that I really like, that I've been able to come up with, is that you are allowed to defend your home, right? Your body, your choice. So home, body, that's the analogy I'm trying to put together here. If somebody comes to your home, you're allowed to defend your property. That's if you're pro-Second Amendment, and most of you left-wing idiots aren't. But let's pretend for a second that you guys are sane and you guys are okay with defending your own home. If somebody comes to your home and tries to come into your home, you would be able to defend yourself from them. But if you invite somebody into your home, you don't then get to defend yourself from that person. You can ask them to leave. Within this analogy, you can ask somebody to leave your home, and if they don't, they're trespassing. But if somebody enters your home without your knowledge or anything, you could harm them, shoot them, defend yourself. But if you tell them, hey, come on in, and when they cross the threshold of your door, you shoot them because you're like, somebody was entering my home, that's the same thing. No one placed this baby inside you against your will. But what about rape victims? Yeah, I'm happy to talk about rape victims. I don't think that murdering a baby is a good response to rape. I don't think that rape is a good thing. I think that all rapists should be castrated or killed. I think that it should be done publicly, and I think that it's one of the most despicable crimes that we can commit on this planet. I don't think the answer to rape is murder. I don't think the answer to an evil is an evil. I think that the person that was created through a heinous act of rape will be very grateful to be alive. If they find out later that they were adopted by somebody and they were the product of rape, I think that they're going to still be grateful that their mother decided to go through with the pregnancy and have them be alive. Most people are happy to be alive, because if they're not happy to be alive, they change it and they unalive. Now, if you want to have that conversation and that's the trade you want to make with me, I would make that trade. If you want to take the 0.0001% of abortions that happen every year, and those are the tiny little, that's the reserve you want to keep, those women should be allowed to decide if they have an abortion or not. But then the other 99.9999% of women that are just using abortion as birth control are not allowed to have abortions. I'll make that trade with you. I'll make that trade. I don't like it. I think those 10,000 or so kids that would end up getting aborted would wish that they wouldn't get aborted. I think that if we were going to allow them to be born and then take a survey on which one of them wishes that they had been aborted, I think overwhelmingly they would say that no, they wish they hadn't been aborted. But I will save 9.6 million babies every year if that means that, or I will allow within the legality of it for those rape victims to maintain that right, if that's, or maintain that privilege, because it's not a right, maintain that privilege if that's what it takes. I think it's gross, and I think it's stupid, and I think the fact that you would trade babies' lives like playing cards is disgusting. But I think the 9.6 million babies that would survive because of that trade would thank anybody that was willing to make that trade. So that's my thoughts on that. I hope that everybody that was pissed off by this can let me know how pissed off they are in the comments. I will gladly call you an idiot on my next video for being pissed off and disagreeing with me. Anybody who thought this made sense, I would be loved to hear what you thought made sense. But yes, just to make sure we covered our points clearly, so that way everybody can hate me and you can get canceled and probably get banned and demonetized on YouTube if I ever end up getting monetized, is that women don't have the right to kill the babies inside them. the women, and by women I mean everybody who can get pregnant, because only women can get pregnant, don't have the right to kill babies simply because they're inside them. The vaginal canal does not grant humanhood and life. Living in the womb and then leaving does not, that skin, that belly skin, does not differentiate between a human and not a human. Not a thing. And even if that was, like, think about that. Think about the nonsense of that. All of my kids were born preemie. So all of my kids showed up early. And all of my kids would have been in the window for what most of these psycho leftist states say is an acceptable window for baby murder. So all of my kids who are living and breathing and happily alive right now would, in your mind, these pro-choice psychos that feel like that up to 9 months is acceptable, all of my kids didn't make it to 9 months in the womb. So all of them, in your mind, would have been legally allowed to be killed for up to 6 weeks after they were born if they hadn't left my wife. That's psychotic. That's psychotic. Living and breathing babies that were happily existing outside of the womb. And there's another one. Oh, well, they can't exist outside the womb. None of my kids existed outside the womb on their own and would have survived. None. All of them were in the NICU for weeks. All of them were hooked up to tubes and diodes and heart rate monitors and breathing machines and CPAP, and we spent nearly $2 million keeping my kids alive. And if somebody had walked into the NICU and stabbed my kid, my 2-week-old preemie baby, you bet your ass that they would be in jail for murder. So just because that same somebody, that same person, that same human was on the other side of a couple layers of skin does not mean that they're not human. You guys are absolutely psychotic if you think otherwise. Psychotic. And I mean psychotic in a sense that, like, you have no empathy for other humans or other human souls. As in, like, a piece of your morale, your moral compass is dead. You are an evil person if you think that. If you think that murdering a person is so that whatever woman who decided to get pregnant can be a little less inconvenienced for 6 months, you are an evil person. Just so we're clear. Anyway, this has been Be Better with Burke. I look forward to all of your hate and all of your comments. And if there's anybody that agrees with me, I would love a thumbs up. Maybe click that subscribe button. Maybe leave me a comment. Little middle finger. Maybe a little thumbs up. I don't know. Whatever suits your fancy. But till next time.